Hey guys, what's up? My name is Bri and welcome to my channel. So, hi guys, welcome back. As you can tell by the title of this video, this is part 2 of my 3-part series where I am breaking down my favorite hair care, skincare, and makeup products. So this week we are talking about makeup. This is something I have really grown into over the past couple of years. I sometimes look at like pictures of myself from years ago and I'm like, literally, what was I doing? I look completely different than I did years ago, mainly based on like getting older, but also my makeup application has just gotten so much different. So I'm excited to share my favorite products that I've been using recently with you guys and giving you my tips and tricks on how to get some flawless coverage and some really great makeup application with products you can find probably in like your local drugstore, like most of these. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm currently wearing like every product I'm going to talk about today. I have a full face of makeup on, but what I love about my full face now is that although I'm wearing a good number of products, I don't think it looks super caked on or looks like I have a lot of makeup on, which is kind of the look I usually go for. I want like a semi-natural look but still very put together. I don't wear a full face of makeup every day. Like it's like maybe like once or twice a week I do this, especially for like auditions or shows or anything like that. That's when I'll normally put on full face of makeup, or if I'm doing anything special or taking pictures that day. But yeah, the routine, even for a full face, takes me like maybe 30 minutes. So it really doesn't take that long to apply the full face I'm going to show you today and get some really nice coverage and just really great application. We're going to go in the order, I guess, that I normally put on everything. I think that would make the most sense. I will put a disclaimer, I am not a makeup artist, I'm not a professional, I just have learned everything on my own and this is just kind of what works for me. I talked about in my first part of this series, which was all about skincare, that I have had some pretty good luck throughout my life, that I really haven't had too many issues with my skin. I do have combination skin, which means my skin gets oily and dry, sometimes at the same time. And one of the problems I struggled with was dry patches, on my forehead specifically, where I'd get like really flaky skin, especially when applying makeup. So I am going to talk about that a little later, about how I fixed those problems and like what products I've used to like kind of combat that and stuff like that. But if you haven't seen that first part of the series about skincare, go check it out. I'll put the link of it above and you can come check out some of my skincare routine that helps me get some good coverage and not get really any breakouts. So with having pretty good skin, I don't really have to worry about like a lot of the products I use. I do test out a lot of products, as you guys know, through Influencer and FabFitFun and all that type of stuff. So a lot of the products today I've gotten all over the place, either from FabFitFun, from Influencer, from shows, like companies giving me makeup to use for the shows I'm in, or some of them I have bought myself, but I'd say the majority I have been given, which I do feel very grateful to be given so much stuff. And I can't even tell you the last time I actually bought makeup, because I have so much that I'm like, I don't have a need to buy it, which is really great. But a lot of this stuff you can find at like local drugstores, Walmart, Target, CVS, like all that type of stuff. Ulta, like you can find it, I'm pretty sure, everywhere. And I will put the names of all the products below and the prices of them as well, so you can see that if you'd like to pick some up yourself. So the first thing that I do in my makeup routine is I prime my face. This was a big game changer for me when I first discovered primer and how important it is and how much of a difference it makes for your skin. So there's basically 2 primers that I use regularly. It just kind of depends on what I'm doing that day. If I'm taking pictures or videos or vlogging or anything like that, I'm going to be using the primer I'm currently wearing, which is by the brand NYX. I bought this myself because I ran out of my primers and this is just what I bought. So this one that I'm using is the NYX Studio Perfect Photo Loving Primer. So I bought this specifically because I do take pictures a lot and videos and all that things, so I do want makeup that is gonna help me look my best in front of the camera. I used to never wear primer, and then once I started using it, I noticed how much of a better coverage I was getting out of my foundation, that I would like get a nice clear like type of matte finish, and everything blended really nicely together, and it like was honestly such a game changer. So if you are not using primer, pick yourself up some primer. It is going to change your life. This primer is not that expensive if I remember correctly. I think I literally bought it at Walmart, so yeah, you can find this anywhere. Now, if I'm not taking pictures, if I'm just like going out with friends or whatever, or just doing like fun activities that day and want a nice full face, I will most likely be using this. This is from Rimmel London. It is their Stay Matte Makeup Primer. So I usually go for a pretty matte finish. That's just what I like. So this is what it looks like. Yeah, it's like a white cream type of consistency. Okay, so then the next step after I prime my face is I start my eyes. I know this is something different than what I see a lot of people do. I see a lot of people just start with their like foundation and do their eyeshadow, eyeliner, mascara last. I don't really think you should do that personally. I always start with the eyes because if there is any fallout as far as like your eyeshadow or your mascara clumping and falling out, then it's gonna go right on your face that you've already like finished if you've done your foundation first. So I'd rather do my eyes first, that way I can brush off any fallout and then finish it off with my foundation, and I just think it gives me a lot better of a coverage and looks cleaner. So that's personally why I do that. So I'm gonna start with eyeshadow, which I know I feel like I'm gonna get some like slack about this. Like people are gonna tell me like, why are you using that product? But I've used this literally my entire life and there's nothing wrong with it. And if it's honestly, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So for eyeshadows, it all depends on like what color, whatever I want to use that day as far as what specific eyeshadow I'm using. But I love these little like pre-made palettes. These are from Almay. I love these so much. Specifically, I like them. I've also got some ones from Revlon here. I've quite literally had these for far too long. They're probably expired if makeup expires at this point, but they just work really well for me. I believe all of these are specifically for hazel eyes, which is what I have. I really like makeup that is for a specific eye color because it's designed so the colors in the palette are gonna bring out your eyes, which I just think is really smart. And I can't do the big palettes that are like 1,000 different colors in them because I don't know where to put things. So I need something that is gonna specifically tell me this is where you put this and this is what it's gonna look like. Like that's just what I need, something simple, something to the point, and that just works for me. So yeah, I think all of these are for hazel eyes. I have some that are like specifically for like for the camera or whatever, which I would usually use auditions to use my like photo ready type of stuff. Honestly, right now I'm just using this one. This is from Almay. It's got this like very natural pink, brown, and white type of thing, and I just apply it kind of how it explains. And it just gives me a really nice natural type of like look. I don't need something too fancy. I don't need something that's gonna like stick out. It just needs something that works, and honestly these work really well for me. But going along with eyeshadow, this is actually one of my last steps that I use, which is my eyebrows, like filling them in. And I actually use eyeshadow to fill in my eyebrows, which I think I know a lot of people that do that, but it just works. So I've been using this one from Revlon. It is the Very Lash shade, this like dark brown, just kind of matches my natural hair color really well. So I just take a small brush and just kind of like fill in my eyebrows like very naturally, just kind of doing small strokes. And then just like brush it out with a spoolie brush, and it just like kind of works for me. So like that's my little tips and tricks as far as filling your eyebrows. That's one less product you have to buy because you can use it for your eyes and you can also use it for your eyebrows. So it just works. Okay, so after eyeshadow is done, then I move on to eyeliner. I am a huge liquid eyeliner fan. It is so easy, it is so simple, and I just love them so much. The liquid eyeliner I've currently been using for like a good like 6 months now, at least it's lasted me, is this one from Stila. So this is what it looks like. It's a nice like felt tip, so it's very nice. It's easy application, and I'm gonna be very sad when this is gone because it just works really well for me. Gives me a nice clean line, and it takes me 2 seconds to apply it. I also got a mascara from Stila as well, which looks like this. It is their Stila Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. It's a really big container, and I'm really glad it's lasted me so long, but it is running out, and I'm very sad about it. So I kind of like switch up my mascara game every day depending on what I want. I like the Stila because I think it gives me a really nice full coverage and makes my lashes really full, which is what I like go for. This is kind of what the brush looks like. It's kind of like a thicker brush. but it is running out, as I said, which I'm very sad about. So sometimes I use multiple mascaras and kind of build them on top of each other. Okay, so now that eyes are done, we are gonna go on to my foundation routine. Now this is something, it's been a complete 180 of how I apply foundation, and I really think this gives me like the nice coverage that I have always been looking for. Basically, I've already primed my face. That was the first thing I did. So then I'm gonna start with my foundation. I do have a concealer, but I really don't use concealer that often. I only use it if I have some blemishes popping up, so I'm not gonna talk about it because it's just not a consistent thing, and I did not put on concealer today. So foundation, the one I've been using recently is from Physicians Formula. It is their Natural Defense Sheer Line of Defense foundation. This has RPF, PPF, and broad spectrum SPF 30 in it, so it's a really good thing for the summer and for the Florida heat. It looks like this. I got this through Influencer. I got a whole line from Physicians Formula that I really like, but it's just like a pump type of formula. I put it on a makeup brush, and we'll just kind of dab it all over my face and then spread it on. I really liked this foundation originally because it wasn't super full coverage. I used it more for like a natural type of look, because I used to cake on a lot more makeup than I do now, but I really like this even for a full coverage. Something I've been playing around with is like the order of which I put on my makeup, as far as like, do I put powder foundation and then do I contour, or do I contour and then put powder foundation, or do I not even put powder foundation at all? So that I've kind of been playing around with, but after I have the base of my foundation is when I'll usually start to contour, which if you don't know what contouring is, that's basically kind of like making some parts of your face darker and some parts of your face lighter to go with the natural sunlight of how the light hits your face, and it just kind of gives you some nice definition. So I have a couple different products I use to highlight and contour, but what I've been doing recently is I use this contour stick from JOA. This is actually called their Crystal Glow Tinted Luminizer. This was from Influencer as well. I love this product. It is a stick, so you just roll it up and it looks like this. And then it has a built-in brush with it. She blends it all in right on the other side. So you just line it. I do it on my cheekbones, my jawline, my temples, and around my nose. And then I'll just roll it on and then blend it into my skin. Which gives me some nice definition. So that'll kind of be like the base of my contour, and then I'm gonna use some powders to finish off that highlight and contour and that definition. For the highlight, what I've been using right now is from Rimmel London. It is their, again, in their Stay Matte collection. This is their mattifying loose powder. So I will just put some of this on a little makeup sponge and put it under my eyes, kind of in this in-between section between my cheek and my jawline, around my mouth, and then around my forehead and down my nose as well. This is usually where I started to see a lot of problems with my flaky skin from having combination skin, is it would flake right in the forehead region, and it would just look so bad, and I could not figure out how to fix it. So the primer definitely helped. The moisturizers I use, which you can see in my skincare routine, really helped that. Just kind of give my skin that moisture it was desperately looking for. And I really haven't had any problems since, even when caking on a good portion of powder. So I use a sponge for that. I'll let that kind of sit a little bit, and then I'll brush it off with the big fluffy brush. And then I'll finish off the contour with adding some contour powder. Lately I've been using this Kevyn Aucoin palette. This palette has 3 different things to contour with, 3 different shades. I'll usually use the lightest or the medium. I tried the darkest once and it was just like far too dark for me to contour with. So I don't really touch that. Maybe later in the summer if I'm a little tanner, it might like work for contour, but right now it's not gonna cut it. So I'll use one of the 2 with just a small fluffy brush and kind of like brush over the areas I've already used that contour stick on. And then this palette also has some highlighters that I sometimes use, and then a blush as well, which I'll also sometimes use. So this palette is really great. Again, this is from Influencer. Absolutely love it. After we have finished our contour, we are gonna put some blush. I used to never wear blush. I always thought, like, I don't know, you only use that on special occasions, but if you don't use too much, like, it actually looks really nice. But today I put on this one from Physicians Formula. I again got this in that little like pack. You can actually use this on your eyes for eyeshadow, on your lips as lipstick and as blush, but I just mainly use it for blush sometimes, and it's a stick. So looks like this. It's again like a nice like darker red. I just put a couple like pats and dots on and then rub it in and you're good to go. We are almost done, so then we are on to highlight, which again was something I didn't really use that often, but I've learned to really like highlight, and my favorite right now is by Joa. It is this just like Crystal Glow Jelly Bomb highlighter. All I do is I just kind of rub my finger on it and then apply it. Super easy, super simple, and it just gives you a nice like little shine when you're in the light. Last product before we set everything is going to be lipstick. The lipstick, like a lot of things, changes depending on what I'm wearing. I have some from Revlon, I have some from MAC, I have some from Ben Nye that I really like. Today, what I just decided to wear was my newest lipstick that I just got in the mail recently from Influencer. It is by Joa. It's their Air Light lipstick. It looks like this, and it is in the color Jet Setter. It's a nice natural look while still giving yourself a pop of color, so that's why I like it. But once we have all that on, which it seems like a lot, I know, but it's really not that much. It only takes me literally less than 30 minutes to do all of this, which is really not that bad. I will set all my makeup with this CoverGirl Outlast Active Cooling Setting Mist. So it looks like this. I just spray it on my face. It's got a nice like cucumbery type of scent, and I got this when I worked for Disney. This is what they gave us to set our makeups. Whew. Okay, that was a lot. Thank you all for following along. I know it seems like a lot, but it really isn't. But those are kind of my favorite makeup products right now, and how I get, in my opinion, like a pretty flawless coverage and some really great makeup application, as you can see. But thank you guys so much for watching today. As always, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below to stay up to date on my latest content. We will have a part 3 to this series, which I will be talking all about hair care and what products I use to save my hair so it doesn't get damaged and can grow nice and long. So stay tuned for that video. But you can also follow me on Instagram at bgraf100 to stay up to date on my latest content. And I will see you guys next week, Thursday at 6 p.m. Bye!